Hey there, my friends, it's Brad the Bearded Piper, and I hope you're all having a great day. Sorry for the long time in between videos. There was a reason for it. If you want to know the reason, reach out to me on Instagram at Brad the Bearded Piper, or send me an email to bradthebeardedpiper@gmail.com. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to trigger anything, and I don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble again for something I'm not 100% sure what I did. So please don't comment on the fact that I've been gone for so long, or well, it was for 9 days, but the actual time I was gone was 7 days. But don't comment on that on this video, because I don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble again. I think you kind of get the drift there. And if you don't, if you want to know more, again, reach out to me. Send me a direct message at Brad the Bearded Piper on Instagram, or bradthebeardedpiper@gmail.com. Both of them are down below in the bucket. So, but in that time, a lot has happened. The big thing that happened is the YTPC meetup at Boswell's, but I'll get to that here in a second. The other day, my wife told me she's tired of hearing me complaining about it being cold outside. So I've been saying that I want to get a patio heater. So she told me to get one. So here's a picture of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's actually doing really well, and it's kind of nice. I have it on low, although the wind's starting to pick up, the sun's starting to go down a little bit, and I think I might turn it up. Although I'm almost finished, so maybe not. So anyway, the one thing that happened that was really cool is, and I shared this in one of my previous videos, I finished my Dog Icons Championship on October 29th. And it was a really, really, really cool thing. And I was really, really excited about it. I'm still really excited about it. Again, it was my first championship, and there's more reasons to it. But every time my wife finishes one of the championships on the dogs, and I don't know if I said this or not, but Icon was my first championship. She picks up something, whether it's a pendant, or something. She gets something, a pendant, a new suit to show the dogs in, earrings, something. So of course, for me, what did I want to get? I wanted to get this beautiful chimney pipe from Brian Doran that we all know and love on YouTube. He's a member of the YTPC. He is Beans316, and he is Briar Guy on eBay. And this is a wonderful performing pipe. I guess it would be considered to be a chimney, maybe a little bit of a poker. It is a sitter, and it is fantastic. I can't tell you how beautiful this pipe was when I saw it online, but even more so, it is just gorgeous in person. I fell in love with it when I saw it online, and when I got it in the mail, it is even nicer. Now, I did pick up a second one of Brian's pipes, but that one's for a special purpose, a special occasion. So this one's for a special occasion. This is for finishing Icons Championship, but the other one's for a very special purpose, and I will share that with you here in the future. I'm hanging on to that one for something special. So most of you can probably figure it out, because I'm getting close. I think I have like 455 subscribers. So I think you might be able to figure that one out. But on November 12th was the Boswell's meetup, and on November 11th is when I found out I wasn't going to be able to do anything for a week. So, and again, don't comment on me not being able to do anything, but you can comment on the heater, you can comment on Brian's pipe, you can comment on this part about Boswell's. I decided I was going to go to Boswell's, and I was going to be there between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. And right before I went to bed that night, the night before, it's almost a 3-hour drive for me. Noticed that Greg from Tunnel Take commented that he wasn't going to be there until around noon. I thought, what am I going to do for 3 hours by myself? So Kevin, Jersey Piper, he commented that he left a community post, and on that community post, I asked what time you plan on getting there. Well, I went to bed, and he saw it sometime after I went to bed. And I got up around 5 in the morning, and while I was eating breakfast, I saw that he also said that he wasn't going to get there until around noon. I planned on leaving between around 6:15, 6:30. And I thought, well, I'm going to get there so early. I don't know what I'm going to do. So while I was eating breakfast, I kind of took my time and I went through and I put together a list of blends that I thought were interesting that I think I was going to pick up. And finally, it was a little after 6:30. I decided, it was probably 6:45. I'm like, I'm just going to go. And what's the worst I could do? I can hang out by myself. I could find somebody to talk to. I mean, I was a salesman for 24 years before I started my business. I can talk to anybody about anything. And I decided to go ahead and go. And it was a very uneventful trip out. I had a little bit of rain, a lot of fog. And I got there about 20 till 10 or so. And I went in, and a really nice guy came over to help me. And I gave him a list of the blends that I wanted to get. And I went over while he was putting them together. And I was talking to their other rep, or their other salesperson. And I made a mistake, and I started looking at the Boswell pipes. Shouldn't have done that. So I'm walking down, I'm checking out the pipes, and I found one that I absolutely loved. And I go to the next section and the next section. They only sell Boswell pipes there. And I found another pipe that, it was just beautiful. So now I'm debating between the two pipes. Now, I'm not much of a short pipe guy. I'm more of a longer pipe guy. And to be honest, the reason I'm don't like a lot of shorter pipes is because I'm always afraid I'm going to burn my mustache with the lighter or a match or whatever, which is completely irrational. But I went back and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I finally decided to pick up this beautiful brandy. It is just a gorgeous, look at that grain. It is just absolutely wonderful. It has a beautiful stem. It is just a beautiful pipe. No other way of looking at it. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And while I was checking out, I heard somebody say, "Hey, Willie." And I turned around, and there he was, but Uncle Willie, famous Uncle Willie himself, coming out of the humidor. And I'm like, "Hey, Willie." He's like, "Hey, Brad." And I said, "I'm going to go upstairs." And he said, "Well, I'll be right up." So I go up, and I'm hanging out around. I go up, I check out. They have a nice little museum area up there. I'm checking out everything in the museum. And looking at they have some Boswell estate pipes that are up there, and it says that, you know, these pipes have come home, or these are some of the pipes that ended up making their way back to them. So looked at all of the different things. I go over, I sit down. Uncle Willie comes up. We start BSing. I load up a pipe, and while we're talking with Northwoods, because I really wanted to try it. So the blends that I ended up picking up, I should tell you that. The blends I ended up picking up, I have a list here because they're all jarred at this point. And I picked up Blend 35, Pennsylvania Dutch Treat, and Christmas Cookie, and all three of those are aromatics. I picked up some Countryside, which is considered to be a light English, but I consider it to be more of a crossover, and I've had this before. I went through 2 ounces of it in no time. I really liked it. And then I had Northwoods, Military Force, and Railroad Station, and all three of those are Englishes. And again, those are all fantastic as well, because at this point I've tried them all. And so Willie and I are sitting there talking, and this young guy comes up, and he sits across from us, and we're talking to him, and we just have a really good time. I think his name was Matthew. And we just had a great time. And a little after 12, here comes the man, the myth, the legend, in a sleeveless shirt, Mr. Greg, the Tunnel Take. And he comes in, we're talking to him, and then a few minutes later, Kevin from Jersey Piper. It's not Jers Piper, by the way. It's J-E-R, the letter Z, Piper. It's Jersey Piper because he's from New Jersey. He came in and sat down, and probably about 5-10 minutes later, Jerry from JC Pipes and Knives came up. So that was the 5 of us that were there. We sat and we BS'd. Jerry brought a lot of blends to give away. He gave me a Mylar bag of, it's Acadian Fleck, and I can't remember, it's Christian's Acadian Fleck. And if you look it up on the review channel, because I'm being very careful with words that I say now, because I don't want to get in trouble again. If you look it up on the reviews page, I think it's KBV is the one who blends it, but I can't remember because I didn't bring it out with me and I didn't write it down. He gave me a tin of the Low Country Italia and a tin of Bagpiper's Dream from Rattrays. And I've had all 3 of those now at this point as well, and they are pretty good. Bagpiper Dream is a lot of people's favorite aromatic. It's pretty good. I do enjoy it. Although I'm glad that Jerry didn't like it and gave it away, because to be quite honest with you, I don't think Jerry didn't like it. I think it bit him a lot according to his video, so he wasn't gonna try it again. I think he did enjoy it though. I don't think that I would buy it again, or I would actually buy it. The Italia is pretty good. I enjoy that. The Acadia Fleck is pretty good, but so anyway, in this pipe, I forgot to tell you, I have some Cornell and Deal Winchester. One of my favorite podcasts, Pipes, Pours, and Pals, Justin and Nate were talking about Winchester being kind of a sleeper blend. It's a Virginia blend. It is actually really, really good. So we sat there, we talked, we BS'd, and we had a great time. And we left there and we went over to Red Robin, and we had dinner, and it was a kind of an early dinner, and we BS'd and whatnot, and then we all went on our way. I was a little bit worried about Greg. He got up Saturday morning and rode his motorcycles to Jerry's house, and Greg lives, I don't know how many hours away it is, but it's pretty far. He's in I think North Carolina, and we're in this not far from the Maryland border in Pennsylvania. And he rode to Jerry's. Jerry drove the rest of the way in. I was a little worried about him headed back to Jerry's, getting there so late, and then having to ride his motorcycle home, which he ended up staying at Jerry's house, because it was starting to rain, which I'm glad that he did that, because I was a little concerned. It's kind of pushing the limits, but hey, Greg's a wild and crazy guy, right? So I really enjoyed it. They're going to do it again in the spring, and Brian, Beans 316, he's the one who kind of set it up, but we got hammered. Brian doesn't live far from me. He lives about an hour away, and we got hammered with rain Friday night, and he was on call for work on Saturday morning, and it's almost a 4-hour drive for him, so he didn't want to come out if there's only going to be a few of us there, and it turned out there were only 5. And it's kind of nice. It was a nice group because we could all converse. We could all have one conversation, as opposed to if it was 15, 20 people, then it kind of break off in our own little groups type of a thing. So, but looking forward to it. It was my first one, and I'm looking forward to the one in the spring. Hopefully my schedule will allow me to get there. So that's it. This is a little bit of a longer video. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about my 7-day hiatus, hit me up on Instagram at Brad the Bearded Piper, or send me an email, bradthebeardedpiper@gmail.com, and I'll fill you all in. I don't want to get into it on here because I don't want to get in trouble again. So until we talk again, my friends, remember, it is better to pack that pipe light than it is to pack that pipe tight.